Now we're talking about the future being mobile and that it is already here. We have Chiew Shan Lim, who's the founder and CEO at Dacsee. He has extensive experience in the IT industry where he focuses on customer relationship management and went on to establish Incredible QR, a mobile apps company. Can you please give him a very warm welcome to the stage? I know it's very late, but give him a warm welcome to the stage.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here. Just now, in one of the past presentations, you heard about there's no need to actually disrupt Uber and Facebook. And here, I'm going to give you some reason why we should disrupt them, right? So basically, what I'm talking about here is basically a ride-sharing platform. And we are going to decentralize it, but not in the way, not in the infrastructure way, but on the operation and the business model side, right? So, Dacsee stands for Decentralized Alternative Cabs, serving and empowering everyone. I believe all of us have at least been in an Uber before, or at least booked once before. So, first, why Dacsee was created? There are so many ride-hailing companies outside. So, why we still think that there's still a need for Dacsee? First, if you talk to any of the drivers for the past few years, they have been driving for Uber for the past few years, and if you notice, their income deteriorate, right? If you work for a company for many years, you expect your income to increase. But if you drive for ride-hailing company, your income deteriorate. Because initially, to get you on board, they inflate the market, okay? Your trip is subsidized. So you get good income. But over the years, as more and more drivers come on board and more passengers come on board, there's no need to subsidize already. So the income of the driver reduced as more and more community actually join the ride-hailing platform. And you've been driving for 4 or 5 years for this platform, and you don't have a customer base. Because ride-hailing companies do not encourage the drivers actually to have a relationship with the passengers, because this allows you to actually bypass them. So there's no way for you actually to build your customer base even after many years in this industry. And now, after 4 years, since your income deteriorates, you need to work more long hours. You used to work like maybe 6 hours a day or part-time 3 hours a day. Now, you need to work 12 hours. In Malaysia, because we already launched in Malaysia, beta, and we have met many drivers, many leaders of the drivers, and some of them actually show me that they actually drive more than 16 hours a day. They eat in a car, they sleep in a car, right, and they wait at the airport. So that's actually what's happening to the drivers out there. And because you have no relationship with the passengers, hence there's no motivation to do a good job. Right? Why do you want to do an exceptional, good job? Since you don't have a relationship with the passenger, it's just like one-time service, right? So that is one of the reasons why we need to decentralize it. And you have been helping the ride-hailing company during the early days, and now they have grown so big into a big giant conglomerate. You get nothing. You share no success with the platform. And as you can see, most companies out there, the e-hailing companies, they are power and profit-centric, and basically they just keep burning money. And if you can see one of the famous e-hailing company, what they say, what they announce every year is like, next year I'm prepared to lose how much, right? Not prepared to earn how much. So Dacsee is a solution that actually we created to handle all these issues. How? First, we want to build a sustainable income for the drivers, right? By letting them having their own customer base, right? So how do we do that? Basically, at the end of the trip, instead of just asking the passenger to rate the driver, we actually allow the passenger to save the driver into their friends list, which we call it Circle of Friends. right? So in this case, you can call the same driver again if you like his service. And indirectly, this give the drivers a good motivation to do a good job because he can get your booking again in the future, right? So imagine if one day you take about 10 passengers and 10 of them save you into their circle of friends or as a preferred driver. In a year, you're going to have thousands of customer base. 5 years later, you're going to have a huge customer base for yourself, and each of them can book your service every day, right? Imagine the number of jobs that you will get, right? So basically, your income will be sustainable. Next, instead of spending huge amount of money on marketing and sponsoring the trip, what we do is we allow the drivers to actually build their own fleet. So instead of creating one huge e-hailing company, we let the drivers create their own e-hailing team, right? So we are creating thousands of e-hailing company. So how can they do that? How can they do that? Actually, as a driver, you can actually recruit or refer another driver to join your fleet, right? So because they are referred by you and you groom them, as they drive, you share a profit of their trip, right? Imagine if a day you talk to two friends and they become either passengers or drivers, you also share the profit from the platform. Not only drivers. If I get drivers A, and drivers A drive 10 trips today, I get a little bit of profit sharing from his drive. If today a passenger booked me and I ask him to join Dacsee, next time this passenger book another driver, I get a profit sharing. That's actually how marketing works. And this has proven to work. In Malaysia, basically, in January, we did a sort of like a soft launch to recruit the drivers. On day one, we managed to recruit 3 drivers to join the platform. And because they understand the concept, they want to build their own team. And in 2 months' time, we have more than 25,000 drivers already joined the platform, right? So that's how powerful this is. And since we are saying about building sustainable income and if they build their team, so we want to allow the drivers to actually able to pass the business to their next of kin, okay? So their children can actually inherit their business. Right, let me go back a bit. On here also, what we want to stress is why you can't pass to your next of kin now if you are just a normal e-hailing driver, because every day when you start your business, you on the app, you press online, I'm available to take jobs, you're starting from zero every day, right? Because you don't have a customer base, right? So you have to go around, look for a job. The most is maybe after 5 years, you know where to look for customer, but in fact, you're starting with zero every day. So with Dacsee's platform, basically you start every day with a group of people working with you. Sharing of success. So when the user contribute to the platform, they get rewarded with Dacsee token, okay? So whenever Dacsee launches in a new country, acquire a new market, new community, the drivers who have driven for Dacsee and who has the token on hand also share the success that Dacsee has, right? So that's actually how we can actually share the success with the people who help Dacsee community. Right? Some of the things that they can do to actually earn the token by driving for the platform. Taking a ride means submit a booking. Introduce your friends to join the community. Introduce drivers to drive for the platforms. And one of the features of Dacsee is basically whenever there's a trip being booked, right? So when a trip is on the way, we identify the nearest people, Dacsee community. They can accept the invitation to become a monitoring angel. So by doing that, they also get token for doing that. And when there's a new driver join Dacsee, they can also be part of the verifier to verify the drivers. And by doing that, they also get token. right? So these are some of the ways that actually how people can participate in Dacsee platform. Now, and also a lot of people will ask me, why do you need blockchain, right? Looks like just a ride-hailing platform. You can just do it with a traditional way, do an app, and give points to your drivers. So why? I think first, my question to them is, what's the point of having a blockchain project if you can't use it daily in a real world, right? So that's what Dacsee trying to achieve here, is to show you that blockchain or cryptocurrency can be used in the daily lives. So how? First, to become a driver, you need to buy token to drive, right? Just like if you are an Uber driver, you need to top up your wallet before you can drive. But in this case, you top up your token with your local currency, right? So that actually generates the demand for the token. And then all these tokens actually go into what we call Circle of Friends pool. It's like a profit center, okay? So as and when you do those activities that was mentioned just now, you earn the token. So for example, it depends on how big is your circle of friends. That means the people that actually you bring in to join the community, right? Because you contribute to the success of the platform. Number of rides that these people take with the platform. And how long they have been using the platform. And also the rating of these people on this platform. If they receive bad ratings, their sharing of the profit will reduce. If they get a good rating, they get more. And also the proof of stake. It's like, because we don't want people just receive the token and then after that, the next day, they just dump it, right? So based on proof of stake, we want those people who believe the platform to actually keep the token. Okay? So basically, this is the algorithm that we put in place to run the what we call participation bonus. Actually, it's a profit sharing to those people who contribute. Right. So are we in the right market? So for those of you who actually see that e-hailing is already like a very big market, but actually it's actually at its very infant stage. As you can see now, taxi is still commanding about 100 billion, and ride-hailing is 36. And in the future, as projected by MarketWatch and CNBC, it will be 285, right? Because that will be sort of like the future of transportation. Right. These are some of the events that we have done on the ground. So Dacsee has launched the beta app on App Store. Now it's available to download in Malaysia for both iOS and Android. Last week, we have launched it. We have did a campus activation. Basically, the beta tester come from 2 campuses in Malaysia. So they downloaded the app, they booked taxi. So we have about 100 drivers now being activated out of the 25,000 drivers. So this beta tester are helping us to test and stabilize the software, right? So before we shout out to whole Malaysia, and then next we'll be going to another country. And as the feedback that we get now is basically, since the 100 drivers already been activated, the other 24,000 is like waiting. When is it, going to be us? When can we start to take passengers? So we believe that we need to really make sure there's no hiccups before we launch it to the market. Yep. So we believe that Dacsee bring value to the community and solve real-world problems because, and why we say disrupt the disruptor, because e-hailing is a disruptive industry, but we want to disrupt it because before we have another Facebook or another Google that monopolize the market, we want to give the power back to the people that will contribute to the success of the platform. Yep. So basically, that's my speech for today. There will be more tomorrow. I will talk more on how we get the passengers. We'll leave it for tomorrow. Thank you very much.